lost custody of my 11-year-old daughter, so I'm heading to the hair salon.
Hi guys, I just want everybody to know that I just keyed my ex's truck.
What did you do?
I love how you're immediately recording and not helping me.
People are putting more and more of their lives online, and honestly, it's getting worse. So what happens when oversharing finally comes back to bite you? Let's get into it.
I'm about to show you guys one of the coolest tricks ever. Say you're traveling and you didn't pack enough underwear, and you're just like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna wear tomorrow? Every room has like a coffee pot thing in it. Every room, even the other coffee makers where it like brews through. All you have to do, put your underwear where you would put the coffee grounds. You close it, you press brew, and it puts scorching hot water through it. You guys, then the hair dryer in the bathroom, you blow dry those bad boys, and you got yourself a cleaner pair of underwear to wear. I did not realize how many people already knew this hack. I learned it years ago from a friend that was a flight attendant, and it's brilliant.
I genuinely don't know what else to say. We've officially entered unhinged territory.
Already, moment of the morning. Milo and I, we went and picked up Bodie, okay? Bodie's good. Ah! The oh my god, that was hot.
Oh my god, she almost got herself killed over a freaking phone video. You can literally see how quickly things can go wrong when you're distracted behind the wheel. Whatever she was saying was absolutely not worth risking her life for.
Well, divas, our work crush updates are sad today because he is not here. And if you've watched the video yesterday, you know that I had plans today to tell him that his haircut looked good, but I can't tell him that if he's not here. So let us pray that tomorrow he is here, and then maybe tomorrow I can be like, ooh, I missed you yesterday. And then he will realize that he loves me.
Okay, you know what would have been perfect for this? A journal. Just write it down, close the book, and nobody has to know about your crush's haircut, his schedule, or whether he showed up today. Somehow, we replaced that with TikTok.
Bro, I crashed my car. I gotta stop watching TikTok while I'm driving.
Bro, I think you should just get rid of the phone altogether.
How I got expelled from university in my second year. So I was talking to this guy, and already the story's gonna be because it starts with this. He came over one day. So whatever, we're just chilling. I'm in my shower towel about to take a shower. He's waiting in the living room, and then I hear 3 knocks on the door, which is weird because like no one usually knocks when you come in because we all have keys, so I know it must be someone else. And so I open the door in my shower towel, and there's like 4 public safety officers out there. And they're like, we just got an anonymous tip that someone's living here without permission because he doesn't go to school here. And I was like, no one's living here without permission. Like, he stays over sometimes. He just visits. I knew exactly who called. It was my roommate because she didn't like him. And I think it's her, but I still to this day don't know who did the anonymous tip. I don't know. So they're like, we're gonna have to search your room. So they go in, raid they found his gun. This guy decided to bring his gun to my dorm, to my apartment on campus. And he says that he doesn't know. I don't know if I believe that. And also, you're an idiot anyways if you don't know where your gun is at.
Well, good luck getting into another college with this sitting on the internet. I'm sure the admissions office is going to be thrilled when they find this under your name, all for a few views.
British student shared her extravagant life travelling all over the world. It turns out she was hiding a big secret. When Bella May Cully's posts abruptly stopped last week, her parents became concerned, thinking she may have gone missing on a trip to Thailand. The 18-year-old had been apprehended 3,000 miles away in Georgia. In posts on TikTok and Instagram, Cully had flaunted huge stacks of cash. Now she could face decades in a cramped ex-Soviet prison. And that's not all. Appearing in court yesterday, she claimed she was pregnant. Her lawyer says that she's terrified and confused.
Well, I guess all those posts showing off the cash weren't such a great idea after all.
That is one beautiful Lambo, care of our tax dollars. Here's the story. The Louisiana woman has been arrested for Medicaid fraud, all while driving this beautiful Lamborghini. According to Attorney General Liz Burrell, Candace Taylor, age 35, seen behind me, of committing Medicaid recipient fraud. How? Because she underreported her income to qualify for Medicaid benefits, all while showcasing her beautiful luxury lifestyle online. She has been reported to deposit over $480,000, paid $45,000 for Audi finances, wired $100,000 to an exotic car dealership, spent $13,000 on a 2022 Lamborghini Yaris, made large withdrawals for property, plastic surgery, jewelry, and other luxury service. The Louisiana Department of Health filed a complaint triggering her arrest. She is not the first nor the last.
And this is the part people forget about social media. You post something for attention today, but that digital footprint doesn't disappear just because you stop thinking about it. Somebody can always go back and look. If you want more stories like this, hit that subscribe button because we're just getting started.
We also had an incident in one of our laboratories where somebody was apparently smoking or vaping in the laboratories. We take these very seriously. We don't know exactly who did it, but we have a suspect. And there will be penalties if we're able to identify the person, especially if there's a repeat offense. We cannot tolerate this kind of behavior. It causes us a lot of concern up here in the flight deck.
So instead of realizing what you did was wrong, you decided to film it and basically turn it into a little victory lap? I really don't understand how people can be this desperate for attention.
This RL streamer crashed his car into a store while live streaming it. He did this because he just wanted to see what would happen. How is this real? How the bar for IRL streaming has collapsed this low is a question I will continue to ask myself perpetually throughout my career. From crashing his mother's car into a store while drunk driving to eating poisonous mushrooms and tasting his own body waste on stream. Why is he doing this? Because again, he wanted to see what would happen. And also, when he drank cleaning solution while playing RuneScape after he ran out of beer. You would think this is a parody or some sort of troll, but it's not.
I'm sorry, but how stupid do you have to be to think this is worth a few views? Crashing a car isn't a prank when someone could be standing inside that building. This can get somebody killed.
What did you do?
I love how you're immediately recording and not helping me.
If anyone didn't know, this guy built his own PC and ended up breaking the tempered glass panel. Instead of helping him, his wife immediately pulled out her phone and started recording. I feel like this is such a perfect example of how people nowadays always pull out their phones to record everything and post it online. It makes me wonder, is their whole life actually happening on social media? Honestly, it feels like some people don't even know how to just live in the moment anymore. Everything has to become a TikTok. And when someone is sick, especially your own family, I think you need to put the phone down and just be there for them. I've even seen a mother dancing on TikTok while her baby was in the hospital struggling to breathe and tested positive for RSV. I'm sorry, but that's not content. That's just reckless attention seeking.
So I'm the LPN who got fired for creating my content at work. Now I know I have a lot of comments on my videos, and apparently I'm the only nurse in the world that creates content, or the only medical professional that people see. It was destined to happen. Now one thing about me is that I'm lighthearted and I laugh a lot. I like to make other people laugh. Besides, the Bible says laughter doeth good as medicine, right? And I've had a lot of people comment on my videos, which is good because you guys know what traction brings. But I'm going to tell you two things that I'm not: dumb and delusional. I'm a very well-educated black woman with 2 degrees. I can go anywhere today, tomorrow, yesterday, any time of day and get a job if I wanted to. And when and if I'm ready to go back to work, you guys will know.
Okay, you got fired and now you're on TikTok explaining your resume to people who never asked for it. You really don't have to prove your whole career to the internet.
Hi guys, I just want everybody to know that I just keyed my ex's truck. I put cheater because he cheated on me. A couple smiley faces. This one's my favorite one. F you, obviously. Heart. I put my initials so that he knows who it was. XOXO. And then I put some random scratches on this side because I didn't really know what to do.
Great. And now TikTok itself can be used as evidence for him to sue you and demand compensation. That's one pretty expensive video. Now, the entire internet knows you're in high school.
These people are so dumb. Oh my God. Are you winding me up? I've got no idea what that was either.
This just does it for me, so I'm gonna see if this is good. Oh my God. Mommy, stop! Mommy hit a curve.
Honestly, it pisses me off that every time I see footage like this, it's always a phone screen instead of a dash cam. Do these people really have so little regard for their own lives?
I just lost custody of my 11-year-old daughter, so I'm heading to the hair salon. Wish me luck.
So, what does losing custody have to do with you getting your hair done? You're clearly just posting this story for views.
Here are some things that people share on social media that terrifies me as someone who studies cybersecurity, because as long as hackers have pieces of information, they can connect the dots, and that can cause a lot of negative consequences. The first thing that people share that scares me quite a bit is when they share personally identifiable information, or PII. Whether it be your full legal name or date of birth or your location or emails tied to important accounts or passport photos, driver's license photos, anything that could be used to identify you and allow people to be you, you do not want to be sharing online. Attackers can use all of that information for identity theft, account recovery bypassing, opening accounts in your name, and much worse. So do not share that information, please. Second thing is real-time location, because when you're sharing where you are located and you're talking about where you go to work or school or whatever, and where you do your workouts every single day at specific times, and where you're going to coffee shops in the morning or whatever, all of that information can be used to locate you.
That's the part people completely miss. Nobody needs one post with everything about you. They just need you to keep dropping little pieces over time. Your birthday here, your location there, your daily routine tomorrow. And eventually they've got the whole picture.
The internet will never see the shit my husband does for me, the flowers he buys for me, the anniversary gifts he gets me. None of it. Why? Because I'm not in a dysfunctional relationship or marriage. I don't have shit to prove.
I'm gonna try to go back and look through the comments of that video. Just go real quick, take a look, and come back. What I find fascinating is you'll see a bunch of single women in the comments telling this woman, who's married, mind you, that, oh, even if you keep your relationship private, it can still fail. But it's not failing. She's literally giving you the recipe. She's telling you what works. The reason that the dating market and the state of relationships today is what it is because y'all are the blind leading the blind. Nobody likes to take advice from people in successful relationships. This whole idea that everybody's different, you have to do what works for you, is bullshit. Everybody, and I mean everybody, should take cues from the people that came before them that did things successfully. And one day, our community, yes, the black community, one day, we're gonna learn. But until then, y'all keep making videos. It is what it is.
This is exactly why some things need to stay private. The second you put your relationship online, thousands of strangers who know absolutely nothing about you suddenly think they know what's best for your marriage. But I want to hear from you guys. Would you ever put your relationship online? Drop your take in the comments.
I have millions of followers and I'm getting no views. So we need to talk. I know that most of you can't relate to my content anymore because I'm showing off luxuries and all sorts of expensive things that most of you could only dream to have, while most of you are just afford basic necessities. But I have millions of followers and I'm getting like 10,000 views. And I think it's so sad. Why am I being punished with low views just because I didn't post for a week? What kind of just and fair society is that? Guys, please keep me in your prayers. Hopefully my views go up.
Actually, he's making fun of something that's been going around lately. Basically, this woman's whole thing is showing off her rich lifestyle, and she made this long rant about not getting the views she thinks she should be getting with that many followers. Honestly, I don't think she has a follower problem. I think people just aren't that interested in her life.
Just a reminder, if you're down bad, that I once dated a guy whose credit score was so low, and when I'm saying low, I mean in the 450 range, which I didn't know was the thing prior to dating him, but it was so low that he couldn't actually lease a car himself. And so he convinced me to co-sign on a car with him, a 6-year lease, mind you, so that he would have a car to go to work so that he could make money to take me on dates, and also a car to come to my place. Except that he stopped paying the monthly car bill and his phone got turned off, so I couldn't call him to remind him. So in order to not have it ding my credit, I would have to call and pay his monthly car bill. My credit wouldn't be dinged, and so he still had a car to come visit me. And then after about the 3rd time this happened, I told a close friend, and she was like, do you have a spare key? And I was like, I do in fact have the spare key to the car. And so I contemplated going and like stealing the car back because it was also in my name. But it wasn't at his mom's house, which is where I thought he was staying when he wasn't with me. And then I went on a wild goose chase of about 4 to 5 different girls' places he could be staying based on reverse searching their phone numbers, based on finding their phone numbers on his AT&T call log because he had had long chit chats with him when he was driving back from work. And then around about that time, a couple days later, he did return my call and showed up and convinced me to be in a relationship with him.
Okay, this story is still pretty long, so I cut some of it out. But basically, she's putting her toxic relationship story online, and it's basically going to stay there forever for strangers to pick apart.
I think it's kind of crazy that we allow a judge, someone who doesn't know you, to decide if you're an unfit parent. Fired from my job today because my manager had it out for me. So if anybody knows any places hiring, let me know. No customer service, no fast food, no working outdoors. And go. Hey, if anyone can spot me $20, I'll pay you back in 2 weeks. Looking to pick up if anybody is mobile. Pissed. Don't ask why. The real ones know what's up. I've got my son this weekend, but I'm trying to go to the Cottonmouth Kings concert, so if anybody would be willing to babysit, let me know. Just came up with a great idea for a business, and I'm looking for investors, so if you're interested, tap in. Can you claim a dependent on your taxes if you don't have custody of them? Brand new tattoo, shout out to my cousin, he does clean work. Tax returns came in, looking for a ride to the casino, we'll give you gas money. Mom's out of town, so I got the house to myself if anybody wants to pull up. Sick and tired of fake people, don't hit my line unless you're trying to elevate me. Hanging out at the high school football game in case they need me to sub in. Come through.
Hey, stop. I swear it's like somebody's holding a gun to this guy's head and forcing him to post every second of his life online.
2 months into my second job at FedEx and I already got written up. I have called in 3 times this month so far, and we can only call in twice. The last time I called in was yesterday, actually, on Tuesday. I, for some reason, did not wake up on time, and I have quite a drive to get to my jobs. I knew I wasn't going to make it on time, so instead of coming in late, I decided to be absent. That is something that I'm not going to do ever again because I'm trying to keep this job for as long as I can to pay off my debt faster this year. This was definitely a wake-up call and one that I needed because I felt myself slacking a little bit, to be honest. But that's not going to happen again, so we continue on this journey.
I mean, good for her for taking it as a wake-up call, but I'm not sure the internet needed the full report on her attendance at work.
Do you think that parents should be posting pictures of their children online?
In short, no.
Why?
So you said earlier, don't scare parents. Well, unfortunately, there are some bad actors online. They are people who have nefarious intentions, let's call it that. They can take those images and people will say, but it's only on my Facebook account. And I only share it to my family and friends. And I want to go back to the fact that most perpetrators are known to the family in that way. But if we post on technology, on social media, on platforms, then the potential is that image can be captured. So you might have heard of the term screen grab. It could be downloaded. And if it can be downloaded, it can now be put into another program that can manipulate it, and it can be made into child sexual abuse imagery.
Even if your account is private?
Yeah. I mean, that figure, I would say, would you allow 200 people in your home near your children? No. I always ask the question, would you show a picture of your children running around in the back garden, you know, maybe half naked or in the bath, which is what children do at home, would you invite all of those 200 people to come in and look at your children? And it's thinking in that way that at the end of the day, we don't necessarily know that those people on those accounts have the best intentions around children. And if we can think in that way I have always said this is put photographs of your children into a photograph album and share it with people you trust in the house where you know they can see the photographs.
I'm not saying parents shouldn't be proud of their kids or share special moments. I just think some pictures are better kept in a family photo album where you actually know who's looking at them. Don't you get it? You're ruining his peace and quiet with that phone screen.
I will never understand, and you will never provide an explanation that makes me feel any different about this. The people who are all in their feelings, crying, tears coming out of their face, and they set up their phone, open TikTok, hit record, continue crying, hit stop, edit the video, and post the video. You cannot tell me that you're not doing it for attention. I will never, ever change my mind on that.
The fact that he had to explain the whole process makes it even funnier. You're crying, but somehow there's still time to film, edit, and post it. Yeah, I see his point. If you agree, smash that like button and share this video.
I think it's weird to go on a Tinder date and then immediately come on this app and give a full recap of it. I would feel mortified if I was the person that just went on a date with someone and I went on TikTok and up on my FYP comes a little video of the person I just went on a date with, reviewing exactly what they thought of me, their first impressions, because what's probably not happened is that they have not communicated that information, whether it be positive or negative, with the person they just went on the Tinder date with. Like, I think that's what kind of makes it weird. I'm like, if you're sharing this much information on TikTok, your communication skills in a relationship better be great. I don't know. I think also, I could imagine, not that I do this, but I could imagine that it kind of changes how you date. Because even though, you know, everyone is dating for companionship and for love, it now has this aspect of like, oh, but I can also mine for content in my dating life. And I'll see videos of people being like, oh, the guy saw it and we're not going on another date, and kind of getting mad at him. But I do think that they have a really valid point. Like, I would not necessarily feel comfortable with someone who, the first time that they meet me, shares everything that has happened between me and them, because then it would feel like that's not a relationship. They're just mining for content.
I don't know, man. Dating someone and then putting the whole experience online for strangers to judge just feels wrong to me. Not everything that happens between two people needs to become content.
So I hid my story from someone, like my Instagram story, I hid it from someone. And it was because I didn't want them to see something I posted on my story. For reasons I can't reveal on the internet. But I only didn't want them to see that one story, right? So then after the 24 hours passed, I unhid it from them. And like, keep in mind, this is someone who has regularly been watching all of my stories. Then the next day I posted a couple more things, and I'm scrolling through the viewers as one does. They're not in there, which I didn't think anything of it, obviously, because everyone has their own free will to not go on Instagram for a day or whatever. A couple more days go by, I have been posting more stuff, going through my viewers, they have still not viewed it. And you might be like, Seisha, this sounds insane, but this has been someone who has been watching all of my stories for months. So at that point I was like, this is kind of weird how they haven't like been watching this. Like, maybe even though it says that my story has been unhid from them, maybe they still can't see it for some reason. As a woman in STEM, obviously I was like, I'm gonna conduct an experiment. So I had my friend test it with me, and I hid my story from her. She was like, yeah, I can't see it. Then I unhid it from her, and she still couldn't see it. Now I'm confused. Like, is this person just never gonna be able to see my story again? How do I fix this? Let me know if you know what to do, or Instagram if you see this. Like, can you fix this? Because I have things to post and people that I need to see them. So let me know. Okay, love you guys. Bye.
Honestly, if this is what you're worried about all day, I think you just need to put the phone down and get some fresh air.
One thing I'm quickly realizing in real estate is that all of your family and friends that cheered you on through the classes and were so excited for you to get licensed don't use you. And they don't tell you either that they're going to be using somebody else. You just get online one day and you see that their house is listed and you're like, wait a second. And they don't like any of your things you post. They don't share any of your business. They don't tell anybody what you do. And nobody prepared me for that.
This is another good reminder that social media support doesn't always mean real life support. People can like every post, hype you up, and still make completely different choices when it actually matters.
Take it down. Take it down. Take it down. We need it gone. Take it down. That doesn't represent me or what we need to be doing. Take it down.
You do not need to share your personal life. Just an FYI. You don't have to share it with everybody, because it's like two sides of the spectrum, honestly, is that either some people share too much of their personal life where it's like, okay, I really didn't want to hear that. And then the other side of the spectrum where you don't have to tell people your personal life because they don't need to know. Other people don't deserve to know about your personal life. So when other people come up and be like, oh, James, I didn't know this about you. It's like, yeah, well, maybe because I just didn't want to tell you guys. Ever thought about that? Okay, yeah. So there's that side. But then other people are like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and like tell you everything about my personal life. Just everything down to a T in detail. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, no, I didn't want to know that. There's always that person that just overshares and you're just like, all right, please stop talking and never talk again. Because I didn't need to know about everything you do.
Not everything that happens in your life needs to become a story, a post, or a TikTok. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just keep it between you and the people actually involved.
I left the nail salon without paying for a pedicure, and the police showed up at my door 10 minutes later, and here's the story. So I went to go get a pedicure, and the woman that was working on my feet, and I did not communicate much. She didn't understand me when I had spoke to her. So I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna sit back and relax, and nothing else but the number pedicure I chose needs to be communicated, I guess. She starts my service and she's hacking up all over my feet. She didn't like cough in her arm or anything, didn't move her head. It was disgusting. And I was like uncomfortable the entire time, but I didn't call the manager over because I didn't want to embarrass her and have the entire shop here and have him, you know, tell her. So at the end, I went to go check out and I said, hey, is there anything you can do, like a 5% discount, 10% discount? Because my service was really uncomfortable and I was coughed all over the entire time. And he refused, said services were fully rendered. I should have said something in the middle. I explained I'm not confrontational. I didn't want to call you over and do that. And I left. And he recorded me leaving and called the police, and the police showed up at my house. And basically, because the service was rendered, it was something I could have been arrested for.
And this is where I have to ask, why are we posting this? We're not even halfway through the story, and somehow we've already got another nail salon incident, a discount, and the cops getting involved. She says she doesn't cause drama, but the pattern is looking pretty loud.
3 more days until I'm no longer legally responsible for another human being besides myself. I have been a mom for 24 years. My oldest son turned 24 on last Saturday, and my youngest child will turn 18 the day after Thanksgiving. And I kind of don't know how to feel about that. I have been in mom mode for 24 years. And although I will still be their mother and be there for them, I am legally not responsible for anybody but myself. And that's crazy.
We've officially reached the point where even my kids are finally adults has to become a social media announcement. I mean, congratulations, I guess. But does the internet really need a front row seat to every stage of your family life?
Keep your Strava private.
Having a public Strava is great because you're going to get more followers, you're going to get more kudos. Kudos make you feel good. I get it. But it's very dangerous. So if your Strava is public, people know your routes. They know when you're leaving for runs. They know when you come home from your runs. And that's just a recipe for disaster. Someone could be waiting for you alongside one of your most popular or favorite routes to mug you or hurt you. Someone could be waiting at the end of your runs. Someone could be robbing your house while you're gone. And I just don't want that to happen to anyone. As good as kudos feel, it's just not worth it.
3 to 4 times a week, I see a TikTok where someone's posting about their office job and how they do nothing all day. They're like, I respond to an email in the morning. I have maybe about an hour of real work, and then I sit there for 7 hours until I leave. And I just will never understand why they post this, because here's the thing. If your work sees that, you're screwed. The gig's up. You've been caught. Okay, you've given yourself up, essentially. And then also, while you post that, everyone in the comments is talking about how they do like 12 hours worth of work in their 8-hour shift. And so there's a whole war in the comments. Like, why do you even post this? The fact that people post anything really about their work in general, but have like what I think is one of the greatest gigs, which is doing nothing at your office job, and you're just exposing it for no reason. Like, why?
Don't trade your peace and privacy for virtual social media clout. Know when to draw the line before it's too late. Hit subscribe to never miss the latest videos, and see you in the next one.